Good morning from Richland Chambers. Got the sniffles. I almost took all of my foul weather gear. I mean, not my rain suit, my gloves, and my hats and stuff out of the boat. Because it's the end of April. It's Texas. It's the end of April. Air conditioner's been on in the house. And I thought, no, I'm going to leave it in there for another couple of days. It's cold. Wind howling out of the north. This is where it stinks. Having a real job. I talked to Terry. Took off yesterday, Friday, and fished. Of course, it was beautiful. Actually, maybe Thursday I fished. And they said there was all kind of guys on the water on Thursday. And I had work. You know, my work, I have appointments and I have to plan them so far out in the future that I can't plan for only good weather days. So anyway, I pulled up, started the day on a little Main Lake point. I saw some birds working around it. And this is kind of what happened right there. I think it's 11 or 12 cast in a row. I catch one of these, and I'm throwing that. It's a 6-inch trace. It's called live shad color. I've gotten a number of questions about what I throw that on, so I'm throwing that on a loose Super Duty 2 rod, which is a big long rod, and then it's a relatively inexpensive reel. It's that little reel right there. It's only 150, 160 bucks. I throw it on a 5-6 to 1 ratio to keep it down, and then I'm throwing it on 20-pound Seagar and Vizex. And I like that rod and reel combo. You can tell, actually, you probably can't tell. There's no depth perception here, but I'm throwing it a really, really long way. And that bait weighs, I think that particular one, I'm throwing the slow sink, it weighs 1.65 ounces. So you got to have a pretty big, heavy rod. That's almost an 8-foot rod, and you can really wing it out there. I'll put links to all that stuff at the bottom down here, but they were just eating it up. I just kept thinking, you know, a lot of times on chambers, the sandies and the hybrids and the blacks will mix. So I stayed there. I mean, I only stayed there. This all occurs in 16 minutes, so it's not like I spent my morning there. But I just kept thinking I'm gonna roll a 4 or 5 pounder, and I foul hooked a couple of them. And when I load up on them, I'm like, all right, that's finally what I was looking for. And then they'd come in and be all foul hooked. So it was a frustrating way to start the day. A lot of activity right there. I actually came back and threw a Carolina rig up there later in the morning and got kind of the same kind of bites, but they wouldn't eat it. I kept thinking, well, if I present something and get it down under the sandies and the hybrids, maybe I could get bit. But it's just, those points are just loaded up. I'm only in about 7 or 8 feet of water right there, and they're just loaded up with with sandies and hybrids. So a little bit frustrating way to start the day. That's incredible to see a fish. It's incredible to see a fish that size eating a bait that big. I don't know what he's thinking. He's all hungry. Yeah, got about 5 buddies with him when he comes with the boat. And he has all 3 hooks in the line. There, right there, at some point, I switched right back to that trace, and it didn't matter. They were eating the trace and the catwalk both at the same time. By the way, I don't know if you saw it or not. They got the Magnum catwalk that's just come out. I don't have one yet, but I'll have one by this weekend. So I hope I will anyway. I've got it ordered. Hopefully it'll get here. So I'm looking forward to having that new bait in the arsenal as well after throwing the shower blow as much as we have. It's not unusual on chambers for the stripes and the hybrids and the largemouth to all mix, especially on that main lake stuff. I mean, frankly, if you're any size on chambers and you want to live on the main lake, you got to live with the stripers, the sandies, and the hybrids. But I don't know how many fish I caught there in a row, but it's time to move on. So I'm gonna check some more stuff and keep running this stuff. Some of the stuff I really want to fish, there's no way we're gonna be able to fish today. So we'll just keep banging around and see if we can't get us a few bites. Here we go. Well, I saw him when I caught him. He was out there suspended beside that tree. Sure did not think it was going to be a big old suckle-eye, as my Cajun friends say. But here you go. Suckle-eye. He's out there suspended. He followed it up and he followed it down. Thunk. Fun stuff. Wrong species, but fun stuff. So I started fishing chambers the year it opened, and fished it, guided on it for a little while, and you know, I know it's progress, but part of the charm was the stuff that was around the lake. And one of the best known pockets, you could tell anybody, I caught them in a church cove, and they knew right where you were because there was an old church here on a point, and I'm sad to report that it's gone away. The old church is just a pile of rubble. Kind of sad to think about all the people that got baptized, probably got married, and probably got buried right here somewhere close. But it's going to be a beautiful home site, no doubt. Oh well, but just kind of sucks. Looks like the only thing that survived was the steps. Imagine how many thousands of times those steps have been walked up. It wasn't a real big church, but it was the Lord's house. Hopefully that church has survived in another building somewhere. I don't know why that makes me melancholy, but it does. You know, you guys
guys who, that's block the line. You guys that come fishing with me every week know that my go-to, especially dock flipper, is fake power line. I gotta tell you, I haven't been excited about a worm in a long time, like I have 6-inch worm. So it's a ribbon tail worm, kind of got an old monster style tail on it. It's got a little bit of ribs at the end of the tail, but so my favorite worm through my youth and probably well into my 20s was a oh shoot, what did you call it? Well, anyway, it was a worm that had those ridges on it like that. God, I can't believe I can't remember what that is. That is old age right there. But anyway, I always loved throwing that worm. I got away from it. But when 6 Sense just sent me these. I didn't order them, didn't know they were coming out. It is a really, really cool looking worm, and I'm kind of fired up to fish with it. So this will be, you're about to see my first outing with the new worm. There'll be a player in the brush piles this summer. Let's check it out.